Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome back to Backyard Bullshit. Woo! The podcast where we talk about all bullshit. All bullshit. Except we did not go into philosophy, and we really haven't touched on conspiracies. But we are all bullshit. Um, so, I am joined by my brother Levi and I, Isaiah, the Kelowitz Bros. And yeah, you have anything to add to that intro?
No, I think that
No?
pretty much sums it up.
I forgot to mention. Y'all probably are wondering where Eli went to, and Eli's not gonna join us like every week. Just so you know, tonight he's actually playing around. He got his PC this week. Since I was back, I picked up his PC. I put it all back together for him, and he finally has time tonight to go play on it and have fun and to mess around with his Adobe and everything. So that's where Eli's at, if y'all were wondering. Well then, you want to dive into a weekly recap?
Yeah, so
Yeah. All
so
right.
since you all know, I'm a big football fan. So Aaron Rodgers played 4 snaps before getting injured. And
Yep. Yep.
then
Yep. Yep.
and
He's out
then
for the
Chiefs,
season.
you towards Achilles. Um and then unfortunately my Chiefs lost to the Detroit Lions by a point, but they did look better than the Bengals. So I gotta give props there. And they look better than the Bills. Um, so props there. Huskers unfortunately didn't pull off the win that I was hoping they'd pull off, but we'll figure out where that goes.
They lost 36 to 14.
Yep. And then the apparently Bob the volleyball girls broke another record at the Bob Devaney with the volleyball girls with another breakout attendance. I don't actually remember the number. It was like 8,000 something.
Yeah, I was told they kind of cheated a little bit. They added extra chairs. That's what I
So,
was told.
so
So
yeah,
yeah,
and then
Ravens won
Texas.
25-9 against the Texans.
Yep, Texas. Texas upset Alabama this weekend. So I
About
was,
time.
was extremely excited about that one
Mm,
because I'm tired of seeing Alabama win. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um, Dang it, I just
And
had
then
it. Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, and then last week we touched on the status of Pioneers Inn. Um, as of right now, they have had more people come and look at the roof and figure out what to do. Tomorrow night or later tonight, I should say, they are doing a build your own burger bar. Um, they brought grills and everything. They're gonna grill out burgers and it's gonna be like a buffet style to where you just build your own burger and everything is a free will donation. So please come out and support our parents in that. Um, Other than that,
I
that's
did. I did get to actually look at it this weekend. in a weird way that I was not expecting. As you probably know from last week, we said we had a wedding in Kansas City, and so congratulations to our cousin for getting married and to her husband. Um, well, yeah, my flight got canceled. I was supposed to be back here on Sunday. My flight got canceled. So I ended up going back to Nebraska until basically today, Wednesday, um, or yesterday, since this will be uploaded tomorrow. Um, so yeah, I just got back this morning. Um, so yeah, I gotta look at the bar, and I gotta throw in my ideas. Dad doesn't like them. So yeah,
I think Dad's just ready to retire. He's
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to build it to where it's back up to code. And then it'll last for like another 100 years. But I don't think they want to spend that kind of money.
yeah.
Oh well. So yeah. So yeah, yeah. So Levi, you said you had a question um from
So
someone.
so someone asked me what my favorite teams were and why. So I'm a big football fan. I don't really get involved in other sports per se. I mean, I might watch other sports from time to time, but football is pretty much my major sport that I watch. My favorite teams, as you all know, probably should know, is for college is the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Born and raised in the great state of Nebraska, so it's just I don't know, kind of mandatory to be a Husker fan. Um, I don't really know anything different, so and then my my favorite NFL team is the Kansas City Chiefs. And before you go claiming that I am a bandwagon fan and jump on the whole bandwagon thing, I have been a Chiefs fan since I was born in '92. A huge shout out to Will Shields, who played guard at Nebraska, and he was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. And apparently, Dad liked watching him at Nebraska, so he started watching his NFL career. So I have known nothing but the Chiefs since I was born. So I have gone through the dark ages, and I'm glad that we finally have a team that is actually Super Bowl contenders every year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
now, if you want to talk about your teams,
Um. So actually, my favorite football sports team for college is Oklahoma. Yep, Oklahoma. No, I'm kidding. It's the Huskers. Oklahoma was a huge rival of the Huskers. Might still be. I don't know. But yeah, I'm still a Huskers fan. Um, I used to dream about playing for the Huskers, but that went out the window. Um, then I am a Baltimore Ravens fan for the NFL. So Lamar Jackson. Um, for basketball, oh, I should probably tell you how I became a Ravens fan. Um, so it actually comes down to two roots of the Chiefs. Well, Levi anyway. Levi really hated the Denver Broncos because the Chiefs would always lose to the Denver Broncos and to Peyton Manning. And
F. Peyton
so,
Manning. F. Tom Brady.
yep. Um, so, um, I lost my train of thought for a minute. Um, in 2013, it was the AFC Championship. It was Denver versus the Ravens, and I was rooting for the Ravens because I hated the Denver Broncos as much as Levi did, and then they won, and then I rooted for them for the Super Bowl, and they won, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just pick this as my team, and I've been a Ravens fan ever since that day, and yeah, with Ray Lewis and Ray Rice and Ed Reed and all the legends of Baltimore Ravens. It was a great time. I wish we could get back to that glory. Um, for basketball, it is the Lakers. Yeah, I am. I guess my favorite colors are purple and gold because my two favorite teams are purple and gold. And I've been a Lakers fan since the Kobe era. So no, don't be going, oh, you're a Lakers fan because of LeBron. No, I've been a Lakers fan since the Kobe era. I think that's it. Other than I don't really watch baseball. Yeah,
About the about the only time I watch baseball is when the Royals end up making it
and the World
into
Series, yeah, it's like the only
and
time I
make,
actually watch too.
making it to the postseason.
Mhm.
So that's
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So is there anything new with you, Levi?
no, not really.
No, nothing new, nothing exciting. Not even working on your truck back there.
Oh yeah, I've been starting to tear into that. Um, I've figured out that things were really, really simple back then,
Oh yeah.
and things are a little bit more things are a little bit more complex today. Um, Also, another difference is safety features. There is not really anything safe on this thing, but that's fine. I'll still drive it. But um, yeah, it's really cool to, or at least for me, anyways, it's really cool to dive into like the older stuff because there there's just so much history to a lot of this, and it's cool to see how things were designed even like 80 years ago, or like just older stuff. I mean, Isaiah was talking about like Pioneers Inn and stuff. That's, I mean, without being a limestone building, it's just, I don't know. It's cool just to see how things were built back then compared to today, and how people did it without the technology you have today. And it's just, I don't know, I find it fascinating.
Mhm. I can agree with you there. It's always a wonder of how they actually did all these things and how all of these older buildings last longer than the newer buildings, even though we have
Well,
all this technology to better build.
it's also amazing, like you were just talking about how things last so long. You look at like this truck behind me, it's a 1940s Chevy pickup, and I guarantee if you let a vehicle today sit for almost, what is it? 80, almost 80 years or so.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it wouldn't be in this condition that it is now. So, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just phenomenal how older stuff lasts so much longer than stuff today.
Mm. So Levi, you want to hear my wicked NFL theory?
Right?
Oh yeah. So I was scrolling, you know, preseason, and I saw this Super Bowl like logo, and it was the colors purple and red, or like an orangish red. And so I was sitting there and I was like, huh. So I started doing some research, but it's kind of hard to do some research because they make like many different logos throughout the year, but there is a white one and then there's a colored one. And I think the NFL is rigged for this Super Bowl. This Super Bowl, the 2024 Super Bowl, is going to be a purple team and a red team. And there's only two purple teams. There's the Vikings and the Ravens. So one of those teams are going to go. But,
There's also the
one,
Broncos. There's also the Broncos, except for I don't think they're gonna be that good this year.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. I don't know how bad they lost the other day. Or did they win?
I think they lost.
Oh. So yeah, so if you look at last year, which I don't know if it was done before or after the playoffs, um, it was who played last year? Oh, it was red on green last year, which then in the Super Bowl was the Chiefs versus the Eagles. And then the year before that, 2021, right? Yeah? No, 2022.
Yeah.
It was red on red, right? Who played in the
No,
20? It
because
was the Chiefs.
it would have been
Oh, so it
Rams and
was
Bengals.
it was yellow and orange. Those were the colors. And then
2021.
2021 was red on orange, right?
No, red on red because it was
Red on red. Yeah, it's Tampa.
Tampa and Chiefs.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So it was red on red. So I have a sneaking suspicion that the NFL is rigged, and I'm gonna call right now, today, that there's gonna be a purple team and a red team in the Super Bowl.
So, going off of your conspiracy or your theory, whatever you want to call it, um,
Mm-hmm.
so I have always debated on if the NFL was scripted or not, and I could play this whole teeter totter game all day, all night, 24/7. But and every time I come down to the answer is always I don't know because there's always a bunch of variables that get played into this. Now, if anybody out there watches New Heights or listens to New Heights, which is the Kelsey brothers, Jason and Travis Kelsey, um, they were actually talking about betting and people getting suspended or players, NFL players getting suspended for betting. Now, according to Jason Kelsey, a lot of these guys is the reason that betting is um, banned from the NFL or players are banned and get suspended for betting is because they can throw games compared. So like say they betted on them or they betted on a certain stat or something and this and that, and they can actually go out there and throw a game so they can win their bet. So I don't know if the NFL is actually rigged or not rigged. The comparison I make to the NFL and like being rigged or not rigged, and I mentioned variables earlier, is you take like WWE, right? You can put two people inside of a ring and have it scripted, and someone else can show up and alter the match, or you kind of already know how the match is going to go, and they work together to perform that match to get the audience's attention. But the thing is those are only like two people. I mean, maybe four compared to like 11 on 11. I mean, you can't control like a wide receiver dropping a ball because we're all human. We're not all perfect, so we're gonna drop a ball here and there, or even like a missed field goal. I mean, you get it. You can kick the ball wrong and everything else and force it, but trying to do that like on a consistent basis or trying to do that in that timely manner is very very difficult.
Hmm.
Or like even a quarterback could overthrow wide receivers, and that's how you rig a game. But eventually, he's going to have to throw throw a perfect pass. So those are kind of like the variables that I weigh back and forth when I go through this. Now, there are a lot of like penalties that are questionable that can alter a game. Now, I understand the Eagles and Chiefs is going to be a huge one that gets brought up. But, I mean, if you look at that moment, that was clearly a holding call. Now, should it have been done in that time, in that moment? I don't know. I'd hate to be the ref in that moment where it comes down to the final seconds of a Super Bowl, and you're the one who's going to have to make that call of, hey, was that really holding or was that not holding? But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to say it that way, then yes. I mean, penalties are easily a big factor to rigging games or putting other teams in better positions or a better position to win or to like alter the outcome of the game. But I mean, like I said, I could go back and forth all day on this whole teeter totter thing, but
Well, what I think is they just pick a team that wins and just lets them play. Um, if you look at it, you can like a team can be ahead by so much, and then they come out in the second half, and it just looks like a whole different team than what they were in the first half. And then there's those people that like it looks like they fumble the ball on purpose or tip it up for a interception or something that just like makes you really question it. The other thing, um is the fact that the NFL came out with a bunch of commercials talking about the script, you know, and coming up with these really silly ideas. And it's like, maybe they're doing this like to trick us into thinking it's not scripted with all this ridiculousness, but in reality, they actually do rig it. You know?
See, and the other thing too is players have came out and they in press conferences and have said that that like we're just following the script um or like Roger Goodell has come to our sideline that we need to blow so on and so forth. Now, is that them being like are they being true when they like are they telling the truth when they say that, or is that just their way of saying like trying to get us as fans riled up and get us on this whole oh it's rigged and so on and so forth like train.
I see what you're saying. I don't know. I'm gonna take the Aaron Rodgers game for example. 4 plays. He's the whole talk of the preseason. This whole hype is built, and then he's just out of the game for the whole season. He can't. Yep, he's out for the whole season, and it's like he didn't look like he was in that much pain. If you actually looked at him, so did he actually get injured, or is it just rigged into us believing that we needed all this hype for the Jets, and then just watch them get washed away? You know?
The other thing too is you mentioned the whole Aaron Rodgers injury, and bunch of there's a bunch of injuries that happen when it comes to like turf
Yeah.
and like turf fields. I mean, if you watch if you watch soccer or watch like any other game, like field games, I should say, they do everything on like natural grass.
Hmm.
Football is the only thing where they have turf. And then you look at all the injuries.
Yeah.
So my
Turf
question
is
is,
turf is a
uh,
lot harder than grass. Um, I don't know. Have you ever played on turf, Levi?
no, I have not played on turf. I have played on a sand pit before.
Yes, you have. I mean, yeah. I have
Um,
played on turf, and yeah, it's a lot harder. There's no cushion for the pushing.
I've done military training on
Yeah.
turf,
Oh, have you?
and yeah, and because apparently turf is a lot easier just to I don't know where their theory is there, but apparently turf is nicer looking and easier to maintain than regular grass.
Mm-hmm.
So some military bases do have turf, and I mean, it's just I don't really know how to explain it. It is just different than
Um, it's a lot thinner. It's a lot harder. It's actually you have to have a special kind of cleat for it. Um, Otherwise, you're gonna be sliding around a bunch, or you'll be tearing up the turf. Either or. Um. Oh, and it's kind of itchy. It's more itchy than grass.
That is so true.
Yeah. I think it's because it cuts you a lot easier than what grass does.
Well, like just from my experience, like I've never played on turf like Isaiah has, but just like military training is just the texture of it is different. Like your mobility throughout it is different because it feels like it's a lot softer than actual grass, and like it just feels like it feels softer and or more. I want to say softer, like squishy, if that's
Mm.
a good way to put it. And so like it almost throws for me as it almost kind of throws like your balance off in a sense because you're not used to it. Like you're used to running on grass and everything or concrete or something else, and then all of a sudden you just get like a different texture underneath your foot and you're trying to move. It just it's different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off, Levi, by the way.
Oh no, you're fine.
Alright,
I
cool.
did I did it to you a lot too, so we're all good.
Oh, I see my side. I guess I see my side more than I see you cutting me off. Um, yeah, turf. Yeah, it's like, yeah, slushy. Slushy, is that what word you used?
Is it squishy? Like
Squishy.
it's like a sponge type.
Oh, well, there's different types of turf. Because you can get the real thick padded turf, or you can get the real thin stuff. Which then the thin stuff they just basically call a dog carpet. Which I'm like, why would you let your dog run on that? You know?
Yep.
I'd rather have a dog run on natural grass and dirt than anything else. You're contagious. Your yawns are contagious, Levi.
I know.
Knock it off. Knock it
I've
off.
been
Knock
busy
it
the
off.
last few days. What?
Huh? What?
Said I've been busy the last few days.
So have I, Levi. So have I. I mean, I was home with you the last couple days
No,
ish.
I've been on the road.
Yeah, I heard you had to go basically all the way to Hastings today,
No, I had to go to Bladen, which is
which is,
south of Hastings.
yeah, like only like 15 miles maybe.
Yeah, I was in Harvard on Monday for a tender trailer to pick up a tender trailer. And then I was in Grand Island, had to drive out to Grand Island to get parts for the tender trailer yesterday. And
Hmm.
then today I had to go out to Bladen to get seed. So I've been all over.
Look at you. Look at you.
Oh, and then tomorrow I
Let's
gotta go
see.
to Hubble.
To where?
Hubble.
Oh, Hubble. That's
I
not
gotta
too
go help.
far.
I gotta go help Hubble tomorrow.
That's good. Yeah. Monday when I was home, I literally, well, I ran back and forth from the house to Fairbury and then hung out with my niece. and that was a tiring day. Oh, and then I went and watched a movie at your house. I guess I forgot I did that.
I heard she
And
gave you the
then
water.
the what?
I heard she gave you the waterworks.
Yeah, she did not want me to leave at all, and I was like, I gotta go, I gotta go. Yeah, yeah. She wanted to hang outside, but I had to go do stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I was cleaning out Piner's Inn yesterday and cleaned out a bunch of insulation and stuff for Dad, so he can get working on his end. Yeah, yeah. Then I didn't like. I only got 1 hour of sleep last night, and then I did sleep on the plane for like 2 hours. It was a 2 hour flight, so I slept on the plane. It was really nice. I didn't have anyone sitting next to me, so it was really nice. I got to spread out across the seats and everything and just sleep. Oh, it
Yeah.
was awesome. Yeah, busy day, busy day.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and then I had to go shopping today, Levi. Had to go shopping today when I got back because I had no food in the fridge and no food in the cupboard, bro.
So it's another conspiracy theory you want to get into.
What's up? Oh, have you ever heard about Blue Beam?
What?
Blue Beam.
No.
No, okay. So it's the whole new conspiracy theory that's been going around. You know how the government came out and said aliens are real, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So supposedly that's part of their massive plan, right? Um, they're building a UFO that within like the next couple years is gonna come out from outer space, and it's gonna shoot this blue beam, and it's gonna like kill crops or something. I don't know exactly. I only watched one video, but it's supposed to do something and start a whole new pandemic, basically like COVID was, but 10 times worse, where people are actually going to die and get slaughtered, maybe. I don't know. Um, and it's all government ran, and supposedly Bill Gates is funding it. And yeah, it's then I think how it's going to end is a new world order where all governments have control over all the people. That's the one video I watched. There's multiple videos, but what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I mean, so I believe in aliens crossing our borders right now. I'm sorry. I
Okay,
have to get in.
okay, okay. Just because they don't have a green card doesn't mean they're an alien.
I'm sorry. I had to go there. But no, so like the whole alien thing, I mean I don't know what to believe of that because I mean I grew up in a big like we all grew up in a big Christian household
Yeah,
and so on and so forth. And so like just to think that there is a being out there that is more powerful than us or more intelligent than us or whatsoever. That's just beyond my belief because the only person out there that is smarter, stronger, better, whatever, all the way around is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. So, I mean,
Well, unless you look at it at a different angle, where they might be smarter than us, but then to them, we are smarter than them because we have different ways of technology that we learned and
yeah.
different ways of how we advanced, if you want to look at it that way.
The other
I
thing
don't.
too is, go
Oh,
ahead.
No, no, no. You go. I can wait.
The other thing too is they consider bacteria on a planet to be a life form.
Hmm.
So, like when you talk about aliens are real, what is an alien? Because if you consider bacteria a life form, to me that's an alien because it's a life form on another planet.
Yeah.
So, what's the true definition of an alien?
Let's ask Google. What's the true definition of an alien?
Here's the definition of alien: belonging to a foreign country or nation.
Foreign country or nation? A foreigner.
Okay, so it's going off of the definition I originally joked around with.
Yeah. That's an alien. Um, Supposedly in the Bible and Revelations,
It's revelation.
I think Revelation. Okay, my bad. Um, I think there's I don't know. I think there's a spot where it talks like when people will claim that aliens are coming, it's actually just demons or the devil. Maybe that's just human made. I don't know. I haven't read Revelation, so I can't tell you that for sure.
So I haven't actually read Revelation all the way through, but so Revelation in there is talks about
End of
the
world.
tribulation. Yeah, it's basically the end of the world, and it talks
The
about
second coming
how,
of Jesus.
yep,
Oh,
that and like how I want to say it's like the tribulation period. I could be totally wrong with that, but it talks about how the devil's going to come to earth, and so basically Jesus is going to ascend or descend from heaven, and well, you have the 1,000 year reign. So basically everything goes bad. Um, Jesus descends from heaven and basically locks the devil up for 1,000 years, and then we rule Earth, or we basically if you are one of God's chosen ones, which means if you have been the best disciple, you've lived out God's word, you've done everything, and God will make you God will make you a ruler over a nation or a region. And then if you're not, you're still going to live in this period, but you're not really going to have a very very good reward per se.
hmm.
Um, so Um, so that being said, is after the 1,000 years, the devil's going to get out. He's going to um, come and basically people are going to believe him and everything and turn against all the good that has happened in the last 1,000 years, and it's going to be a complete chaos. And then Jesus is going to come down and pretty much destroy the whole entire earth and everything and build the new Jerusalem. And then we'll reign with him forever in the new Jerusalem.
Mhm. So let me ask you this, Levi. Do you think we're in the 1,000 year reign?
No, we are not.
Are
We
we
are
getting
still
close?
we get closer by the minute.
Well, I'm
So
just
we
saying, with all of like pop culture now is all about demons. Like if you look at Doja Cat, like her whole new album, she literally just talks about being a demon.
so
Demon
we
Lord is
we
what
are
she called herself.
we are what you would call the, I want to say it's called the church age. This is where God is building his church and building his people and getting them prepared for the I want to still call it the tribulation period, but I don't know if I'm actually right. But getting us ready for that. Um, so as of right now, what we are doing is we are preparing the church and we are preparing believers and we are trying to get as many people that we can. I mean, I won't really say get as many people because it is 100% your choice whether you believe in Jesus or don't believe in Jesus and what he did for us. But we are in the point where we are out there spreading the word and hoping that we can save people so that when this time comes, then it will be like, I don't know where it. So then when this time comes, we will have a lot of rulers and a lot of good people in the world. I mean, we're still gonna have humans. There's still gonna be humans here, but for 1,000 years, everybody from heaven's gonna come down and reign with us. So that, like, to me, is that's kind of cool. Whether you're human, whether you're a spirit, whether whatever, you're put back in human flesh, and you get to see everybody that passed away. I mean, now if they were a non-believer, unfortunately, you will not see them again. But so that is kind of the purpose of the church age, is preparing everyone for the tribulation period. So when the devil does come and claim that he is God himself, everybody realizes that he is wrong. That's that's what we are. We are preparing the church for basically Jesus is coming and the devil's coming.
Well, supposedly Parliament is has a empty seat in its Congress. I think Parliament, and guess what number it is? Yep, you got it. Yep. So someone was saying there's reason to believe that they're waiting for the devil to come claim his spot, and then to take it over.
So,
Yeah. So,
speaking of conspiracies,
uh-oh.
we just celebrated 9/11.
Oh yeah, 9/11 was Monday. Yeah.
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 So, was 9/11? Was the attacks on 9/11? Was that
Um
was that a government job or was that really a terrorist attack? If you want to talk conspiracies.
it was the Arabs that we went to war with, right? No.
Because Iraq and Afghanistan.
Iraqians. And Afghanistan. Supposedly they found something over there that was worth a lot of money, and the US government lost out on a lot of money because of that. And so then they did this. They took out 9/11. I mean, the Twin Towers, to create a war to go say there's weapons over there, but what they really just wanted was all the money that was over there with all the oil fields.
You, you know what I believe it is?
What?
I believe it was a revenge attack.
Revenge.
Yeah.
The
So,
the Iraqis avenging what, when we went over there and ate pork and drank beer and all this other stuff in front of them that was disgraceful to their culture.
no, I am talking. So, George H.W. Bush, aka George W. Bush's dad,
The first one.
he was the president during Desert Storm. And while I was working for Fairbury Glass in high school with Dad, Dad happened to know a pilot from Desert Storm, and I got to talk to him. And unfortunately, I don't remember his name now. But he was actually flying over to Iraq during Desert Storm with atomic bombs to destroy all of the oil fields and to blow them all up. Well, George H.W. Bush decided to call it off halfway across the ocean. So, him being a good soldier that he was, he turned around and came back home. Now, my question is, what would have happened if you would have let him finish the job and wipe out all of Iraq and Afghanistan and all of their oil fields over there that brings in money? But you didn't. So guess what? George H.W. Bush's son gets put in office. What happens? The Twin Towers collapse. The Pentagon gets attacked. Was it revenge? Or was it a government job? We will never know.
And also, there's a documentary on Netflix where supposedly the government knew, the CIA knew that the Iraqis were in the United States and were planning to do something, but they didn't do nothing about it.
So, America is we as Americans and we as a country, I'm just gonna call everyone out here, are really dumb. We are probably one of the smartest, dumbest countries you'll ever meet. The reason
Yeah.
I say this, the reason I say this is because back before World War II, we sat down with Japan. Japan said they wanted to be a superior power and threatened us and told us not to mess with them or something would happen. Well, what does America do? They laugh at Japan and go, ha 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 ha. You're not going to do anything. We control you. We're going to do what we want to do. And we went on with our lives. Guess what happened? Pearl Harbor got attacked.
Mm-hmm.
So and then there was a lady, she actually, so she decoded, like she found a encryption and she decoded it, and it said that I don't remember if it was the Twin Towers or the Pentagon was going to get attacked on 9/11. But what does our government do? They fire her and tell her, "Oh, there's nothing to worry about. We're going to fire you before you cause panic, before you cause panic." Well, what happens? The Twin Towers and the Pentagon gets attacked. So we literally have all this technology, yet we somehow are dumb enough. I don't know if it's just because we're cocky. I don't like, or if we're naive, or just plain stupid. But somewhere we have all this technology and we have all these people working for like Homeland Security and the CIA and FBI and so on and so forth, and they do their job, and when there is a threat to our country, we fire them, we laugh at them, we mock them. So why are we paying all these people thousands and thousands of dollars if you don't like them doing their job?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
One. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the other thing with the whole Twin Towers thing is, so here's one conspiracy, and I can't remember what show it was on, but he used to, and I can't even think of the guy's name, but he used to be a judge on America's Got Talent. And
Howard
no,
Stern. Oh.
No. He used to be, so Howie took his spot.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. So he has a show now, and he brought on a guy, and according to the guy, he actually showed live footage. Now, granted, I understand in today's world, it is really, especially in today's world, it is really hard to believe anything because anything can be corrupted, anything can be.
And then AI.
Yeah. But apparently, the live footage that they showed was over in Great Britain, and they were talking about the Twin Towers already collapsing, and the Twin Towers were still standing behind them. So they were reporting that the Twin Towers were attacked when the Twin Towers were still, or no, they had footage of the Twin Towers being attacked, and they were reporting to it live, but here in America, the Twin Towers were still standing.
Yeah.
until almost like 2 hours later, and then it finally happened. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's again like I believe the government does things for power, like the government does things for like power plays,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
like you even can take COVID for example. I believe that was a power play. COVID isn't near as bad as other. I mean, don't get me wrong, COVID is still bad, but it has been proven that it is not as um
Deadly
like
as
the
what
flu.
they
The
say it
flu.
is.
What?
It's not as deadly as what they say it is.
Yeah, like the flu. The flu itself is more deadly than what COVID is, and doctors have proven it. The stat lines, all that stuff, have proven that. But I believe that the government wanted us to fall solely on them and rely solely on them. So they decided to do a power play so they could take control of us. And we would be in forever debt to them. And some of us played their stupid games, others didn't. But like I said, I believe the government does power plays because they want they want the control, they want the power, they want the money, and unfortunately, I guarantee you, our founding fathers are rolling around in their graves because this is not the country that they built. This is not the country they dreamed of having.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's just
Yeah.
my opinion on this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the government does do like power plays to put fear into the people. The more fear the people has, the more they're easier to control.
Exactly.
Um, yeah. And that's what they're trying to do with like the Blue Beam project. But I think that got out like that exploded way too quickly and became way too big for it to be an actual real thing. I guess we'll just have to wait in a couple years to see if it's actually true or not. And then there's Bill Gates, who's supposedly buying up a bunch of farmland so he can grow this genetic engineered crop that will supposedly kill people that aren't strong enough to digest it.
See, also speaking of like going off of that topic of like killing people who are not strong enough to like digest it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was the whole thing with COVID was you were trying to wipe out the weak,
Yeah, it's like
like,
a
like a population
natural
control.
selection. Yeah,
Yep.
population control.
Yep.
Like a natural selection type deal. If you read Charles Darwin.
Yep.
If you believe in that. Did you know evolution's a lie?
I've known evolution was a lie ever since my whole life.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Even the small like evolving of everything.
Yeah. Duh. It tells you in Genesis, God created the earth. God created the heavens and the earth. God created the sky. God created land. God created trees and animals and the sea
Yeah,
and humans.
yeah, yeah.
Read Genesis. Open your Bible to the very first page and start reading. It explains everything in there.
So, what God built originally back whenever the earth was made never evolved. It's still the same old thing as what it was when God put it there.
Yeah.
All right.
So, like, we as humans have, like, evolved, like, technology wise.
Technology wise, yeah.
You want to talk about, like, I don't believe, I don't believe in evolution because of, like, because there's a lot of
So,
things wrong with the evolution. But like, if you want to talk about like cultures, and if you want to talk about technology and like the science portion part of it, or like medicine side of it, stuff like that, yes, we have evolved because we went from being cavemen to building phenomenal structures and cool things and man-made objects. We went from walking in sandals across deserts to driving vehicles. So, like, if you want to talk about evolution at that point, I will
um,
believe it.
what about like immune systems from like maybe moving from the ice age to this age? Do you believe in that kind of evolution?
Our immune system hasn't evolved. Our immune system got weaker.
Oh yeah, because of what the government feeds us.
Because if you think about it, if you look at anybody in the old days, they lived like 500, 600 years. If you read, like, I don't even care if you're a Christian or not a Christian, if you read anything about the old days and like the old prophets, even if it's like Buddhism or Hinduism or whatever, they,
Well, you also got to look at like we have. Well, I would say we have a lot more risk factor now
yeah,
because that was just like simple. I mean, yes, people were out to kill you and everything, and diseases, but like a lot of it, I think, was came down to fasting in the biblical sense. We as humans we eat way too much, way more than what we actually need. So, do you have any last words, Levi? No. Well, normally we close on a quote, but we've been both busy this week, so we're kind of underprepared. So thanks for watching. Um, Go follow us on Instagram at Backyard BS Podcast. You can also follow us on Facebook at Backyard BS Podcast. Um, Other than that, we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.